Hello friends, welcome to this session. I am Rachna Mishra, Assistant Professor Commerce at Government Naveen Mahavidyalaya, Kharora. I will be taking a session on oral presentation, which is a topic in the 5th unit of your paper Business Communication, BBA 3rd semester. First of all, we must understand what oral presentation is. Oral presentation is also known as, or popularly it is called, public speaking also. So first we will take up theoretically what oral presentation is. It may be summarized in some points given below. Oral presentation is a specific form of communication in a structured manner on a particular topic in front of a group for a specific purpose at a specific time and place. Now, to take these things very in detail, first, a specific form of communication. That means the form of communication may be a written communication, oral communication, and it is at a public platform. So this is a specific form of communication. Second point is in a structured manner. What do you mean by structured manner? Structured manner means it should be planned well, it should be very much structured, stepwise, stages, all these things must be included. Third is on a particular topic. That means you should be very specific which topic you have to deliver in a presentation, and the whole presentation must move around this topic only. Next point is in front of a group. Usually when it is a public speaking, it is a group of people whom you are going to address. The objective may be anything like to sell a product or to convince some thought or convince some thinking, something like that. But in front of a group it should be. For a specific purpose, that means before starting the presentation, you must be very clear why I am going to present this topic. Purpose may be many, that means the objective of this particular presentation. So we will deal it in later steps at a specific time and place. So whenever it is a presentation, there should be a time specified and a place specified. Now, before proceeding further, let me first tell you that oral presentation is a skill. When we call it a skill, what do you mean by skill? So skill is something which you can learn. That means you may not be having the natural inclination to make such presentation or oral speaking, but this can be developed. So whenever there is an attribute which can be developed, it is called a skill. This can be attained by a proper training, by practice. So oral presentation is a skill, means even if you are not a natural speaker, you can attain this efficiency, this capacity or the capability to deliver in an oral presentation. The ability to do such a presentation is not a natural one, but rather a skill that must be learned and developed. So there are certain structure. If you follow that structure, if you go along with that, you can attain the capacity or the skill to make an oral presentation. Now, before going for a presentation, there are certain questions you should ask yourself, like what is the aim? What is the aim means, why are you planning to make this presentation? There may be some objective, there may be some purpose. Either it may be to sell my product or to adopt my recommendation, or to adopt my recommendation means I want to give the recommendation to the group of people. I want them to adopt these recommendations. Next is I can inform or explain. That means if the group needs some information and I am there to make the information available to them, explain to them, then this may be a purpose. Or to present my candidature. Usually when we see that in elections and all, people address a group of people and they make their candidature to make their candidature impressive or effective, they can go for it. So these are certain questions which must arise in your mind before going for presentation. And first one is, what is the aim? That is, the purpose should be very much clear to you. The next question is, what is my title? The title should be such that it should set the stage for my presentation. Like, it should convey a lot of things to the audience. So it may be something like how to reduce production cost, or the advantages of something like that. Next main question is, what are the main points I want to make? This indicates what exactly I am going to communicate or convey to the audience. The points which you must consider is, first thing is, keep the body to about 3 main parts. 3 main parts means the introduction part, the central body part, that means the main content, and third one is the conclusion part. So next point, make sure the presentation differs from the written report. That means the report, usually you just read it out. So it should not be, the presentation should not be like reading a report or presenting a report, because report is more of a monologue. There is no space for interaction. But when we go for presentation, it should differ from the report or reading a report or presenting a report. You should always try to bring some added value to the presentation, like it should be interactive, or you can have some visual aids, some audios, something like that. So you can make it attractive, and you should make it different from a report. The next question is, who am I speaking to? This implies to know your audience. Who is my audience? Is it a group of students? Is it a group of managers? Is it a group of users? Is it a group of decision makers? So you should know your audience well, because that will actually give you the direction how to proceed for the presentation. What are the preparations which are required for the presentation? So first point is, are these people the decision makers, top managers, users? Users means, usually if you are going to launch a software, suppose. So if you are going to tell the things or give the information regarding that software, if users are there in front of you, you should have a different approach. Okay, so you should make them learn the things. You are there to make them acquire the skill to handle that software. So you should know your audience very well before going for the presentation. What should the audience listen? That means, what is the content which is useful for the audience? What are the benefits to the audience of my product, report or speech? Why am I standing there? If my presentation, my speaking, my communication, if it is not going to benefit the audience in any manner, why will they be interested to listen to me? So there may be some benefit for the audience, then only they will be ready to listen to my speaking, or they will be paying attention to my presentation. Now continuing with the question, who am I speaking to? The next point is, what do they know about the subject? How does this change my approach? That means when we are planning for the presentation, this question is very important. What is the existing level of knowledge possessed by the group of people in front of whom I will be delivering? Or you should know the knowledge level of the audience. For example, if they do not know anything about your presentation or your topic, naturally you have to start from the zero. That means right from the scratch you will have to start it. How does this change my approach? If suppose in front of you, if the group of managers are sitting who are sales experts, and you are there to just provide some new dimension to a technique or the sales technique like that, but the audience is quite well versed with the basic functioning of the sales. So now I have to be very careful while providing something new to them. They are the experts of their fields. So depending upon the audience you are going to address, their existing level of knowledge, assessing this existing level of knowledge is very much important. Second point is, what aspects will they be interested in? So if I am not going to provide anything new to them, they are not going to be interested in this. So this is a very clear aspect, that you have to make the things interesting for them. They must get some output of that presentation, of attending that presentation, then only they will be interested. What sort of questions will they ask me? This is a very important aspect, because you have to anticipate in mid of the presentation, because it is going to be interactive if you want to make it interesting. So there may be certain questions and you should be in a position to answer them. So you will have to make the preparation in such a manner that you will be anticipating what are the questions which are likely to arise during the presentation, and what would be the answers to those questions. Do they understand technical language or not? This is the very practical difficulty which the audience faces. So some of the presenters, when they go with very technical language, initially we try to understand, but finally if we do not understand, we lose the interest in the presentation. So what kind of technical knowledge, technical language they know or they do not know, this must you understand first, and according to that only you should plan your presentation. The next question which I must ask myself before going for presentation, what do I want the audience to do after listening to my presentation? That means, what is the output I need from this presentation? I want them to buy my product, or I want them to contract our services. I want them to react to findings or results. Usually this happens with the research aspect. I want them to make better informed decisions. If I'm going to make some information provided to them. I want them to learn how to do something. That means if I'm providing some guidance in developing a skill or something like that. If I want them to change their mind, that means usually this kind of question is there when the speaker is a motivational speaker. So they want to inculcate certain positive aspects to life or something like that. So they to change their mind, to adopt my point of view, to give me a job. This usually when you are standing in front of the selectors and giving a presentation. So this is also a kind of public speaking or oral presentation which makes you either a good candidate or bad candidate in front of the selectors. So I want them to adopt my point of view to give me a job. That means I am a job seeker. In that case also I will be making certain presentations. So these are the objectives or the outcomes which actually I want from the presentation I am going to make or the presenter make. The next question is, how much time is planned for me to speak? That means the time schedule which has been given to me for making this presentation. Should I stick to the time, exact time? Do I need to be very precise, or I may take some liberty? Suppose if you are in a job interview and you are going to present something and you are giving 3 minutes to speak, that means you have to speak only for 3 minutes. You cannot take liberty there. Or if you are a motivational speaker, okay, you can go, you can extend to some extent. That means for 2, 3, 5 minutes you can extend it also. Can I start and conclude my presentation as per the schedule? This is very important question you should ask yourself. Sometimes we prepare so much and we want to deliver all the things at that moment, but that actually creates a mess over there. So you have to be very much structured, time bound, and you have to proceed as per the schedule, and you should test yourself whether I can start and conclude my presentation as per the schedule given to me. So friends, till now we have dealt with the practical aspects of preparing for an oral presentation. Now I will be taking some theoretical aspects. So let us see what are the objectives of oral presentation. The first one is presenting new goods, presenting new services, presenting new system. For example, launching some new goods. If you are in a service sector, you may go for launching a new service or launching a new system. Usually it happens in IT sector. Second one is construct model, construct a layout, construct a policy. If you are making some important changes in the existing policies and you have to inform the audience about such change, or if you are going to present them with a new model. New model means something, the mode of working or something like that, it has to be changed completely. So you can provide with a new model, new layout, that means a new planning for something. So this may be one of the objective. Third one is entertainment of participants and audience. If you are going to address the people and your objective is to entertain them, the best example what you student must be going through is management games. So you have to be very informal in case of entertaining the participants, but such is not the case in presenting new goods. Next one is represent a group or department. That means departmental, if you are there to provide the report sort of presentation, that means what have you done in last 6 months, and if you are representing your department, what are the outcomes, what are the achievements, what are the setbacks. So in that case you will have to represent a group or department. That may be one of the objectives. Continuing with the objectives, the next one is suggestions about any solutions to a problem or a new concept. You may be there to provide some solutions to the existing problems or to anticipated problems which the audience may face. You may provide some new inputs to the concepts existing, or it may be introducing entirely a new concept. Next is providing various information to customer and audience. The best example is the current scenario in COVID-19. Suppose some health worker is making some presentation to make people aware. In this case, they may be providing information how to be careful in this situation, how to be effectively save yourself against the pandemic. Next one is continuous growth in the credibility of an enterprise. That is representing an enterprise and trying to add value to the growth of its credibility. That is, suppose you are making an IPO, that is initial public offer, and you are there to tell people or the audience that this is the manner how the company is going to grow in coming future. You will be focusing on the growth of the company in the future. Next one is develop critical analytical capacity among the group members in a business enterprise. It may be through discussion oriented presentation or through management games, or when we make we give them some situations and we analyze their reactions. So this actually results into development of critical and analytical capacity among the group members. So case analysis or management games are the best example of such presentations. After objectives, let us see what are the guiding principles of oral presentation. The first one is principle of certain purpose, which actually relates to the objective part. Now under this we have certain sub-points. First one is persuade. The purpose may be to persuade the audience, or we are trying to convince the audience and encourage them to take certain course of action or to encourage them to move in a particular direction. Second one is we are there to entertain the audience. In that case, the best example we can take up is the stand-up comedy show what we see today. There the presenter is, through his presentation, he is actually there to entertain the audience, make them laugh. Next one is analysis. To analyze a problem, that means a problem is existing and we are going to analyze it. To analyze the pros and cons of taking a particular course of action, to analyze a solution, a possible solution, or to develop analytical capacity among the group members. So this is about the first principle, that is principle of certain purpose. Now coming to the second purpose, that is principle of attention. Under this we have certain subpoints, subject matter related to the audience needs. So this is very important that whatever subject matter is served there in the presentation, it should be useful for the audience, or it should be as per the need of the audience. If the matter under discussion does not serve any purpose of the audience, the presenter will not be able to hold the attention of the audience. Next one is clear, vivid language. The language used must be very decent, very much clear. The pronunciation part should be very much exact. The words and terms should not be repetitive. That means the same words should not be repetitive. In every sentence you are using the same set of words, that actually decreases the effectivity of the lecture or the presentation. Next one is relationship between the subject and existing level of knowledge of the audience. Audience interest and their understanding or involvement are positively correlated. If the subject matter relates to their interest, their growth, and add value to their existing status, the presenter succeeds. So ultimately, if it is not going to give any input to the audience, the presenter will not be successful in attaining the objective. The next principle is principle of building of credibility, that is speaker's credibility. The presenter should establish his credibility first. This can be done by proper self-introduction and telling about his or her experience in the field, so that audience become ready to listen to him. Next one is principle of confidence. The presenter should be so well prepared that he should be confident enough to deliver the content. Next one, principle of sincerity. Presenter should be very much sincere. He should be very real. Principle of friendship. We as presenters should be quite friendly and should create such an environment that audience feel free to interact. Next one is principle of previewing of presentation. This is very important. Before presentation, a preview must be provided, or we can call it a roadmap to the presentation. How the things will be done, the chronologically presenting the things, presenting the points, presenting the journey of the presentation, that is known as previewing of the presentation. It actually gives the clarity in the presentation. Next one is principle of thoroughness. The content must be thoroughly examined before delivering to the audience. Before saying anything as a presenter, you should first examine it thoroughly. That is termed as thoroughness principle. The next principle is principle of development of the main idea. The main idea of the presentation should be developed very carefully, and while dealing with the various points, the central idea should not be lost. So if within the presentation, if during the presentation, if a discussion take place, the presenter should always try to bring back the audience to the main idea. Next is principle of research. Any information, any content which is going to be delivered must be resulting from thorough research and an examination. Then principle of arising interest. There should be a continuous effort in keeping the audience interest intact, unaffected. Next one is principle of clarity. There should not be any confusion or ambiguity in any stage of the presentation. It should be clear, very much convincing, and throughout the presentation there should be no confusion. Then principle of emphasizing structure. A very planned and structured approach is required for an impactful presentation. Next one is principle of concluding. Any presentation seems incomplete if it is not properly concluded. The conclusion may be in the form of a new result or new implication. The presentation must be formally concluded. So that's all about this presentation. Thank you very much and have a nice day.